Ah, November Rain. That monolithic monster of a tune that crashes through your speakers like a thunderstorm in a dive bar, soaking everything in epic melancholy and guitar heroics. It's the kind of song that sneaks into your soul on a dreary afternoon, whispering about lost loves and endless downpours, and before you know it, you're belting out those piano swells in the shower, pretending you're Axl Rose himself. But lurking under that 9-minute sprawl is a backstory riddled with band squabbles, obsessive tinkering, and a video so extravagantly absurd it could only come from the fevered mind of 90s rock excess. Stick around, because we're about to peel back the layers on this soggy saga, revealing secrets that even the hardest GNR fans might have missed. Like how a short story about suicide and rock star regret birthed one of the most viewed clips in history, or why Slash nearly got decapitated by a helicopter for a 30-second solo. Yeah, it's that kind of wild ride. Let's rewind to the ignition point, back when Guns N' Roses were still clawing their way out of the Sunset Strip gutters. Picture 1983. Axl Rose, that fiery redhead with a voice like a chainsaw wrapped in velvet, is hunched over a piano, hammering out the bones of what would become November Rain. His old bandmate Tracy Guns, from LA Guns, remembers Axl playing an early version and saying, "Someday this song is going to be really cool." Tracy shot back, "It's cool now." But Axl, ever the perfectionist, grumbled, "But it's not done." And boy was he right, or maybe just stubborn as a mule in mud. Axl had been tickling the ivories since he was 6, back in Indiana, escaping his chaotic home life through church hymns and Elton John records. Fast forward a few years, and by 1986 the band records an 18-minute beast of a demo with Nazareth guitarist Manny Charlton. 18 minutes! That's longer than most bands' entire sets back then, or a decent nap if you're Slash after a night out. Rumors swirl of an even longer 25-minute original, but Axl kept chipping away, refusing to let it loose until it was epic enough to eclipse the sun. What if he'd released that monster uncut? We'd have radio stations dedicating whole hours to GNR ballads, and DJs quitting in droves from exhaustion. Now, unpack those lyrics. They're like a therapy session set to orchestra. When I look into your eyes, I can see a love restrained. Oof, that's Axl laying bare the agony of bottled-up passion, probably drawn from his stormy romance with Erin Everly, daughter of Everly Brothers fame. Their relationship was a roller coaster of highs and lows, complete with allegations of abuse and a quickie marriage that fizzled faster than a wet firecracker. That line captures the fear of vulnerability, like holding back a floodgate while the waters rise. Then there's the chorus hook. Nothing lasts forever, even cold November rain. November rain? It's not just weather. It's a metaphor for that chilling, persistent heartache that lingers like a bad hangover. Cold, unrelenting, but eventually it passes, or so Axl hopes. The whole song draws heavy from Del James's short story, Without You, a grim tale of rock star main man whose infidelity drives his girlfriend Elizabeth to suicide by gunshot. Axl and Del were tight. Del was the band's road manager and a horror writer with a knack for twisted love stories. Imagine if Axl had gone full horror flick with the lyrics. We'd have verses about ghosts and gore instead of piano solos. As it stands, it's a plea for time to heal wounds, with Axl crooning, "Don't you think that you need somebody? Don't you think that you need someone?" A sly nod to the isolation that comes with fame's double-edged sword. By the time November Rain lands on Use Your Illusion I, in 1991, the album Saga is pure drama. Think Shakespeare with more leather pants and ego clashes. The band was fracturing like a cheap guitar under stage lights. Slash and Duff McKagan wanted to stick to gritty rock anthems, but Axl was pushing for symphonic grandeur, channeling Elton John's Funeral for a Friend and Queen's Bombast. "We call it the Layla song," Slash joked, referencing Derek and the Dominoes epic. Recording at places like A&M Studios turned into battlegrounds. Axl insisted on orchestral swells, while Slash grumbled about the drift to ballads. Duff later admitted they were opposed to the symphonic stuff, feeling their raw tracks got sidelined. What if they'd vetoed it? GNR might have imploded sooner, leaving us without this powerhouse. Launch drama peaked with the double album drop, Use Your Illusion, I, and Two, hitting shelves simultaneously, a bold move that screamed excess. November Rain wasn't the lead single. That honor went to Don't Cry, but when it dropped in '92, it stormed charts, peaking at number 3 on Billboard, the longest song ever to crack the top 10 until Taylor Swift one-upped it years later. And oh, the ascent to legend. That's where the video turns this track into a cultural juggernaut. Clocking in at 9 minutes and costing a whopping $1.5 million, most expensive ever at the time. It's a Baroque fever dream, directed by Andy Morahan. Inspired by Del James's Without You, it stars Axl and his then-girlfriend, supermodel Stephanie Seymour, in a whirlwind of wedding bliss turned funeral gloom. The plot? A lavish church nuptials at St. Brendan's, interrupted by a freak rainstorm at the reception, leading to Seymour's mysterious death. Fans still debate how she dies, suicide like in the story. Struck by lightning? Or did that guy diving into the wedding cake trigger some cosmic curse? Fun fact, that cake plunge wasn't in the script. Axl suggested it on the fly as they wrapped the scene, and some extra, not Ricky Rachtman despite legends, belly flopped into confectionery chaos. Morahan thought it looked daft and cut it, but Axl demanded, "Where's the cake?" Back it went, becoming a meme before memes existed. Slash's iconic solo? Filmed in a New Mexico desert where they trucked in a church prop from a Western flick, because why not import architecture for rock and roll? The helicopter swooping in nearly clipped Slash. He feared for his life, yelling to stop. What if it had gone wrong? We'd have a very different ending to the video, and maybe to Slash's hat collection. The trilogy vibe with Don't Cry and Estranged adds layers like a rock opera on steroids. MTV ate it up, awarding it for cinematography at the '92 VMAs, where Elton John joined them on stage for a killer duet. The enduring impact? November Rain didn't just chart, it reshaped power ballads, influencing everyone from hair metal holdouts to modern epics. It topped fan polls in New Zealand, snagged spots on best of 90s lists from Pitchfork to Kerrang, and got hailed by NPR as the ultimate hard rock weepy. Quirky aftermath includes parodies galore, Remember the Simpsons riffing on it, and tributes like themed weddings where couples recreate the rain-soaked reception, minus the funeral. Hell, even Donald Trump called it his favorite video, blasting it in the White House like a presidential power ballad. In Chile, it hit radio charts decades later, and that 2 billion YouTube views. First 90s video to crack it, proving nothing lasts forever except viral rock anthems. The 2022 re-release swapped sampled strings for a real 50-piece orchestra, conducted by Christopher Lennertz, Axl finally getting his symphonic dream polished. Imagine if Axl had quit after that early demo, we'd be robbed of this cultural deluge. And the oddest tribute? A scented candle inspired by the video, smelling like wet roses and regret, perfect for your next breakup playlist. So there you have it, folks. The drenched, dramatic, downright bonkers history of Guns N' Roses' November Rain, a song that proves even the coldest storms can birth legends. If this tale left you soggy with nostalgia, or chuckling at the chaos, hit that like button harder than Slash hits those bends. Subscribe to the Rock Lore Vault for more unearthed gems, and drop in the comments, what's your wildest GNR memory? Until the next lore downpour, remember, nothing lasts forever, but great rock sure tries.